She came to disappear. Black hoodie. Window seat. Earphones in. Nobody looked at her twice. Then a sleeve slipped 2 inches. A tattoo appeared. The man next to her went completely still. He leaned over. 2 words. Ghost fire. She had not heard that name in 2 years. Before you watch full story, comment below from which country are you watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories. A wrist. That is all you see first. A pale wrist. A black hoodie sleeve. And the sleeve, it has slipped. Just 2 inches. Just enough. There is a tattoo on that wrist. A skull. Wearing a crown made of a trident. And above it, small, clean wings. Pull back now. A woman. Seat 14C. Window seat. Black hoodie. Hair tied up. Earphones in. Eyes closed. She is sleeping. She looks tired. Not the kind of tired that one night of sleep fixes. The kind that lives in your bones. The kind that takes years to build. The man in 14D is not sleeping. He is looking at her wrist. His face does not move. His eyes do not blink. He looks like a soldier who just heard a gunshot in a quiet room. He looks at the tattoo. He looks at her face. She is asleep. He looks at the tattoo again. He looks away. He looks back. He cannot look away. He shifts in his seat. Slowly. Carefully. The way someone moves when they do not want the other person to wake up. He leans forward just slightly. Just enough to see the tattoo more clearly. The skull. The trident crown. The wings above it. He has seen that tattoo before. Once. In a classified briefing room. On a wall. In a photograph. Next to a name he was told never to say out loud in public. He sits back. His hands are completely still on his armrests. A trained observer would notice that his breathing has changed. Slower now. More controlled. The way breathing changes when a soldier is deciding something. He looks at her face one more time. She is still asleep. He looks back at the tattoo. He makes his decision. Ryan, to camera. I had been on that plane for 3 hours. I had looked at every single passenger. All 224 of them. Threat level, 0. I was relaxed. As relaxed as I ever get. Then I saw the tattoo. That is not a tattoo you find on Google. You cannot buy it. You cannot copy it. You only know what it means if you have been inside that world. I have been inside that world. And there is only one person, in the history of that program, who earned that exact version of that tattoo. One person. A woman. I thought she was dead. Ryan Cole had looked at 224 passengers. He had been wrong about exactly one. She was asleep. 12 inches to his left. And the plane was already in trouble. Lisa, to camera. She was the last one to board. Earphones already in before she even sat down. She said no to food. No to water. No to everything. She just sat and looked out the window. I thought, okay. She wants to be left alone. Fine. I left her alone. But I kept looking at her. I don't know why. She just had this feeling around her. Like she had been somewhere very far away. And she was still coming back from it. Boarding gate. Most passengers are already seated. Sarah Malik walks in last. Earphones in. Head down. She finds 14C and sits without looking at anyone. She does not put her bag in the overhead. She puts it under the seat in front. Faster that way. She knows this without thinking. She looks out the window. Not at the sky. Just below it. At the line where the sky meets the ground. She watches it the way you watch something you lost a long time ago. Marcus, to camera. I noticed her the second she sat down. She came in, she looked at the exits, both of them, and then she sat. Fast. Clean. Like she was checking a box. I've done that my whole life. I didn't say anything. You don't say anything. But I watched her. 3 years ago. A military base. No name on the door. 6 people in a briefing room. Harsh lights. Maps on the walls. Sarah is at the table. Full tactical gear. She looks younger here. But her eyes are the same. Calm. Ready. Commander, pointing at a map. Ghost fire, your lead extraction. Park is pinned down in Sector 7. You have 1 window. 4 minutes. After that, the window closes. Sarah. Copy. 1 word. She always used 1 word. She walked out. She got in the aircraft. She flew directly into enemy fire. She pulled James Park out. She brought him home. That was the mission. But that is not the whole story. What nobody outside that classified world knows, Sarah Malik was the only woman to ever complete SEAL Team 6 selection. The only one. Ever. She did not just pass it. She finished in the top 3. The men in her unit did not talk about it much. They did not need to. She had proven everything in the field, not in a room. Her call sign, Ghost Fire, was given to her by her own team. Not by a commander. Not by a document. By the people who flew with her. Fought beside her. Were brought home because of her. Ghost, because you never saw her coming. She moved through situations the way smoke moves through a room. Silent. Everywhere. Impossible to stop. Fire, because when she arrived, everything changed. Fast. Completely. Ghost Fire. That is not a name you give someone to be nice. That is a name you give someone because no other words fit. 6 months after the Sector 7 extraction, something happened. Something that is still classified. The file has a red cover. It sits in a building in Virginia. Very few people have read it. Even fewer talk about it. What is known, Sarah Malik walked into her commander's office. She closed the door. She was inside for 11 minutes. When she came out, she had already decided. She took off her uniform for the last time. She walked out of a base she had spent 8 years on. She did not say goodbye to anyone. She started working at a bookstore 3 weeks later. She reads every night now. She tells no one anything. She keeps her wrist covered. She has been doing this for 2 years. Ryan Cole in seat 14D. His magazine is open on his lap. He has not turned a page in 40 minutes. He is still looking at her wrist. He is making a decision. Ryan, to camera. She looked peaceful. Whatever she had walked away from, she had walked away from it. She was sleeping. She looked like she had earned that sleep. I almost let her keep it. Then the alarm went off. Narrator, directly to viewer. If you are watching this and you have not subscribed yet, this is the moment. Because what comes next, you need to have seen the beginning. Hit subscribe. Hit the bell. Ghost Fire is just getting started. She had spent 2 years becoming invisible. A bookstore. A window seat. Earphones in. The plane had 44 minutes of fuel left. And no pilot. Invisible was no longer an option. The cockpit door opens. Lisa steps out. Her face is white. She holds the intercom handset. Her hand is shaking, but only a little. Only once. She presses the button. Is there anyone on board with military flight experience? We have an emergency. Please come forward. The cabin goes still. People look at each other. Nobody moves. Marcus, to camera. It was one of those moments where the whole cabin just freezes. You know something is wrong. You don't know how wrong. Nobody moved. And then Ryan, the man in 14D, he leaned over to the woman next to him. And I thought, okay. He knows something I don't. Ryan leans toward Sarah. She still has her earphones in. He touches her arm. Once. Lightly. She wakes up. Not the way most people wake up, slowly, confused, blinking. She wakes up the way soldiers wake up. 1 second she is asleep. The next second she is completely present. No gap between the two. She pulls out one earphone. Looks at Ryan. Ryan, low voice. Not a whisper. A voice that knows how to speak without being heard by the wrong people. Ghost fire. 5 seconds. Sarah goes completely still. She looks at Ryan. He pulls up his own sleeve, slightly. A smaller version of the same tattoo. She looks at the cockpit door. Then back at Ryan. How bad? Ryan, both pilots down. Fuel, 44 minutes. Storm straight ahead. Sarah does not react. She does not panic. She does not ask more questions. She reaches up. She takes out her other earphone. She puts both earphones into her pocket. Carefully. Like she is putting away the person she has been for the last 2 years. She stands up. Lisa, to camera. I saw her stand up and I exhaled. I don't know why. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know what she could do. But something in the way she moved, I just knew. Okay. Something is going to be okay now. Sarah sits in the captain's seat. She stops for exactly 1 second. Just one. The last time she sat in a cockpit was 2 years ago. She remembers the exact day. The exact moment. She handed over the aircraft. She signed the last form. She walked out. She told herself she would never sit in one again. She was wrong. Her hands moved to the controls. Not slowly. Not carefully. They move automatically. Like her hands remember everything her brain tried to forget. 2 years of lifting books. 2 years of sliding coffee cups across a counter. 2 years of keeping these hands small and quiet and invisible. None of that matters now. She reads the instruments. 6 seconds. All of them. Fuel, 44 minutes. Storm, directly ahead. Unavoidable on current path. Mountains, left side and right side. 224 people behind that door. She thinks about none of them. Not right now. Right now she thinks only about the aircraft. What it needs. What she can give it. She picks up the radio. Chicago Center, this is Flight UA, 1992. Full emergency. Both pilots are down. I have the aircraft. I need vectors now. Storm on my nose. Mountains both sides. Fuel, 44 minutes. Talk to me. Mike, to camera. In 19 years, I have heard scared voices on that radio. Shaking voices. Voices that are holding it together by a thread. Her voice was not any of those things. She sounded like she was ordering coffee. I thought, who is this person? Mike Torres. 19 years at Chicago Center. He has heard everything. A pilot who had a heart attack at 28,000 feet. A small plane that lost both engines over Lake Michigan. A student pilot who took off alone for the first time and panicked in the clouds. He has heard all of it. He has talked all of them down. He picks up the frequency. UA, 1992, identify yourself. Sarah, passenger. Military flight background. I don't have time. Mike, I need a name. Sarah, I don't have time for a name. I have 44 minutes of fuel and a storm on my nose. Give me vectors or get someone on this frequency who will. Mike, a half-second pause. He respects that. He has been doing this long enough to know the difference between someone performing calm and someone who actually is calm. She actually is. UA, 1992, what is your call sign? Sarah, one breath. Ghost fire. Mike drops his coffee. The mug hits the floor. It breaks. Coffee goes everywhere. He does not look down. His colleague, looking at the floor, Mike. Mike, eyes on the screen. Both hands on the desk. Voice completely level. Get me the military liaison. Right now. Mike, to camera. Ghost fire was not just a call sign. It was a story. A legend. The kind of thing you hear about and you never think you'll hear again. When she said it, I dropped my coffee. 19 years. I have never dropped anything. I still haven't replaced that mug. I don't want to. Mike Torres dropped his coffee. 19 years. Never dropped anything. That is what the name Ghost Fire does to people who know it. The 224 people on Flight UA 1992 were about to find out why. Two F/A-18 fighter jets appear outside the windows. One on each side. Close. Zara, 7 years old, seat 15A, presses her face to the glass. Grandma. There are fighter jets outside my window. Her grandmother pulls her back, then stops. She looks at the jets herself. They are not passing. They are staying. They are flying alongside the plane. The grandmother lets Zara look. Zara, to camera. Small voice. Big eyes. They were really close. Like, if you could open the window you could almost touch them. I waved. I waved both hands. I don't know if he saw me. But I think he did because after I waved, the jet moved its wings a little. Just a little. Like it was waving back. Viper 2 checks in. UA, 1992, this is Viper 2. We have visual on you. Tell me your situation. Sarah gives the full report. Fuel. Storm. Pilots down. Clean and fast. Viper 2, professional. Calm. Matching her energy. Copy all. We'll escort you through. What is your flight background? Sarah, Navy. Special Operations. 1,100 hours. Multiple aircraft types. Viper 2, something shifts in his voice. A small thing. A pause that lasts just 1 second too long. Special Operations, Navy, which unit? Sarah, classified. Viper 2, call sign. James, to camera. I don't know how to explain it. It was just a feeling. Something familiar in the way she spoke. I've been flying for 8 years. You hear a lot of voices on the radio. But her voice, the way she said classified like she had said it 10,000 times and meant it every single time, it pulled at something. I asked for the call sign because I didn't know what else to do. Sarah closes her eyes. 2 seconds. Just 2. Then. Ghost fire. 9 seconds. I counted them later. 9 seconds where I could not make a single sound. My co-pilot grabbed my arm. He thought something was wrong with me. He was right. Something was wrong with me. I was trying to breathe. James Park's hand is shaking on the control stick. His co-pilot, James, barely speaking, that's her. Co-pilot, who? James looks at the inside of his helmet. 3 words. Written in black permanent marker. The ink is old now, 4 years old. He has traced over it many times. Ghost fire, alive. He wrote it the day he was brought home. Before he even got out of the aircraft. He wrote it as a prayer. A reminder. She existed. She was real. She had flown into fire to pull him out. Somewhere she was still out there. For 4 years, every single flight, he looked at those words. Every single flight. He picks up the radio. He holds it for a moment. 4 years. He has thought about what he would say if he ever found her. If she was ever alive. If the world ever gave him that one impossible thing back. He thought he would have a speech. Something prepared. Something worthy of what she did. He has nothing. Just her name. Just the call sign. Just 4 years of looking at 3 words on the inside of a helmet before every single flight. He keys the mic. His voice, you can hear everything in it. The 4 years. Every flight. Every time he looked at that helmet. Every morning he put it on and read those words like a prayer he was not sure anyone was listening to. Ghost fire. This is Viper 2. This is James Park. You pulled me out of Sector 7. 4 years ago. You flew into the fire to get me out. You brought me home. They told me, 6 months later, they told me you didn't make it. I have your call sign written inside my helmet. Every flight. 4 years. Every single flight. Ghost fire, please tell me that's really you. Complete silence, 8 seconds. Ryan, to camera. 8 seconds. 8 seconds of radio silence. That is a very long time on an emergency frequency. I was counting. At 8 seconds I thought, she's not going to answer. And then, she did. She holds the radio. Both hands. She is looking at the storm ahead. 2 years. A bookstore. Earphones. Looking below the horizon. James Park, who she pulled out of enemy fire, wrote her name inside his helmet. Every flight. 4 years. Her hands are on the controls of a plane carrying 224 people. She keys the mic. It's really me, James. I'm sorry I let you believe otherwise. I'm going to explain everything. Later. Right now I need you to be my escort one more time. Can you do that? James Park, on the other end. You can hear him put himself back together. It sounds like a wall being rebuilt, one brick at a time. On your wing, Ghost fire. I'm on your wing. Same as always. I'm not going anywhere. Mic, to camera. I don't normally keep both frequencies open like that. But I did that day. I heard every single word of it. And I have been doing this job for 19 years. I have never cried at work. Not once. Not in 19 years. That was the first time. You are halfway through Ghost Fire's story. If this is hitting you, if you felt something just now, drop a comment below. Just one word. Whatever you are feeling right now. We read every single one. Now, the storm is coming. Stay with us. James Park had written her name inside his helmet. Every flight. 4 years. Ghost fire, alive. Today he found out he was right. The storm ahead did not care about any of that. Marcus, to camera. He sat down next to me. I looked at him. I said, who is up there? He looked straight ahead. He said, Ghost fire. And I closed my book. I folded my hands. That's all there was to do. I knew the name. Every person who has spent real time in special operations knows that name. Ryan returns to seat 14D. Marcus, 14B, who is up there? Ryan, eyes straight forward, ghost fire. Marcus closes his book. Folds both hands in his lap. Gives one slow nod. He says nothing else. He knows. Lisa walks the aisle. She checks seatbelts. She talks softly to people. She is doing her job well. She reaches row 15. Zara, seat 15A, is still drawing. Her notebook is open on her tray table. Her pencil is moving. Lisa stops. Zara does not look up. Is the pilot going to save us? Lisa pauses. 1 second. Yes. Zara, still drawing, good. I'm making her something. The storm is visible now. A wall of dark cloud. Lightning inside it. It fills the whole front window. James on radio, clipped and precise. Ghost fire, gap is 22 miles wide. It is closing at 5 miles per minute. You have one pass through. 1. After that it closes. Sarah, copy. Taking it now. James, and then his voice changes. Just for a second. From military to human. Sarah. First time he used her name. Not the call sign. Her name. You came back for me once. I am not leaving you this time. I'll be on your left wing. All the way through. All the way in. Turbulence hits. Hard. Immediately. The plane shakes like something is trying to break it apart. Lightning, right outside the window. Too close. Oxygen masks drop from the ceiling. Zara, still drawing. One hand holds her notebook flat on the tray. Her grandmother wraps an arm around her. Ryan, both hands on the armrests. Eyes on the cockpit door. Marcus, hands folded. Lips moving slightly. He is praying. He has not prayed since his last day in the army. There is a man 3 rows back holding his wife's hand so tight she will have marks on her fingers tomorrow. He does not notice. She does not ask him to stop. There is a teenage boy in row 22 who was complaining about the flight delay 2 hours ago. He is not complaining now. He is completely silent. Eyes closed. Thinking about things he has never thought about before. There is an old woman in row 8 who has been on many flights in her life. She is looking out the window at the lightning. She is not scared. She is watching it the way you watch something powerful. With respect. With attention. And there is Zara. 7 years old. Drawing. One hand holds her notebook flat. The other hand keeps moving the pencil. She does not stop. Not once. Her grandmother watches her and does not say a word. Because what do you say to that? What do you say to a child who keeps drawing through a storm at 37,000 feet? Hard bank. Finding the gap. James calling every heading. Every altitude. Every change. Ice warning activates. Then, lightning. Direct hit. Right wing. The plane drops, violently, and rights itself. The cabin screams. Sarah corrects. 3 seconds. Smooth. Textbook. James, voice tight, ghost fire, you good? Sarah, I'm good. Keep calling. James, 12 miles of gap left. You need 8 to get through. You're doing it. I'm right here. Left wing. Not going anywhere. Inside the cockpit, Sarah does not look scared. She does not look calm either. She looks focused. The way a person looks when every single part of their brain is doing exactly one thing. The way you look when there is no past. No future. Only this moment. Only these hands. Only this aircraft. She has been in worse. She does not think about that. She does not think about anything that is not in front of her. Another lightning strike. Left side this time. The instruments flicker. 1 second. 2. They come back. Sarah does not blink. She adjusts heading by 4 degrees. Finds a slightly smoother line through the gap. Something only someone with 1,100 hours in difficult conditions would even notice. A pocket of air. Calmer. Just slightly. She takes it. James on radio, nice move. Where did you find that? Sarah, stop talking. Keep calling. James, and there is something in his voice. Not just professionalism. Something warmer. Something that has been waiting 4 years to come out. Copy that, ghost fire. 8 miles of gap. You're inside it. You're doing it. James, to camera. Every 30 seconds I said, I'm right here. Every 30 seconds. Because that is what she said to me in Sector 7. Through the fire. Through the smoke. I'm right here, Park. I've got you. I'm right here. She said it the whole way out. So I said it back. The whole way through. It was my turn. Fuel alarm. A sound that cuts through everything else. 12 minutes remaining. Sarah, flat voice, Mike. I need runway 10L. Longest you have. Clear it now. Mike, already moving, done. You're cleared direct. All the way in. Ghost fire, bring them home. 12 minutes of fuel. A storm behind her. Mountains below her. 224 people holding their breath. And James Park, on her left wing, exactly where he had always been. Ghost fire. One last mission. Clear of the storm. Chicago ahead. Runway lights, long, straight, waiting. James, I see the runway. Long straight. Lights are on. She's waiting for you. Sarah, copy. Gear down. Confirmed. Flaps, set. Ryan, to camera. I couldn't do anything. I could just sit there. I have been in situations where the answer is, move. Act. Do something. This was not that situation. This was, sit. Trust. Wait. I gripped that armrest and I waited. And I want to tell you, that was harder than anything. Sitting still and waiting. Hardest thing I have ever done. Near disaster. 500 feet. Wind shear, sudden, from the left. The plane drops 60 feet in 2 seconds. The cabin screams. Zara drops her pencil. She grabs her grandmother with both hands. Ryan grips the armrest, hard. First time all flight. James, voice cracking for just 1 second, ghost fire. Sarah is already correcting. She was correcting before James finished saying her name. 200 feet. 100 feet. 50 feet. The wheels touch the runway. Smooth. Like putting down something very fragile. Something you have been carrying a long time. Reverse thrust. Brakes. The plane slows. Slows. Stops. Complete silence, 4 seconds. Then Zara starts clapping. Just her. Small hands. Clapping in total silence. Then 224 people. All of them. Her hands are still on the controls. She looks at them. These hands that flew into enemy fire 4 years ago. These hands that shelved books for 2 years. These hands. Always these hands. She picks up the radio. Her voice is completely steady. Chicago Center. UA, 1992. On the ground. 224 souls. All safe. Mike, to camera. He does not speak for a moment. All safe. That's all she said. All safe. In that voice. Calm as a Tuesday morning. Still. I went home that night and I sat at my kitchen table and I didn't move for a long time. Just, all safe. 2 words. Ghost fire. All safe. Marcus, to camera. She came out of that cockpit. She stopped when she saw us. She stopped. And nobody said anything. Nobody announced anything. We all just stood up. Every single person. Just stood. I don't know how that happens without someone telling you to do it. It just does. Sarah steps out of the cockpit. She stops. 224 people standing. In complete silence. She looks at them. She has flown into enemy fire. She has pulled people out of burning situations. She has done things that will never have her name attached to them in any public record. But she has never had 224 people look at her like this. Not with fear. Not with awe exactly. With something harder to name. The kind of look people give when they understand, really understand, how close the line was. How thin the distance between this moment and a completely different one. A man in row 6, business suit, laptop bag, is crying. He is not trying to hide it. He is just standing there, crying, not caring at all who sees it. A mother in row 19 has both arms around her son. He is maybe 10 years old. She is holding him the way you hold something you almost lost. Lisa, standing at the back of the cabin, is watching Sarah. She has both hands pressed flat against her own chest. Like she is checking that her heart is still there. It is. All of them. Still here. Then, Zara. She pushes through from row 15. She is holding her notebook with both hands. She holds it up. A drawing. A woman in a cockpit. Drawn in pencil by a 7-year-old. 2 fighter jets outside the windows. Little people behind the woman. And underneath, written carefully in 7-year-old handwriting. Sarah looks at it. For a long time. Then she kneels down. To Zara's level. Can I keep this? Zara, I made it for you. Sarah takes the drawing. She folds it carefully, 4 times. She puts it in her pocket. She stands up. His F/18 is on the ground nearby. James Park walks across the tarmac. He removes his helmet as he walks. He holds it out to her. The inside is facing her. 3 words. Black permanent marker. 4 years old. Traced over many times. Ghost fire, alive. She looks at it. Then at him. You wrote that the day I pulled you out. James, the day I landed. Before I got out of the jet. I wrote it before I even took off my harness. A long pause. Both of them standing on the tarmac. The wind is moving. The runway lights are still on. Behind them, through the terminal windows, 224 people are being reunited with the people who came to pick them up. Hugs. Tears. Hands on faces. People who do not yet fully understand how close they came. Sarah looks at the 3 words one more time. You traced over it. James, quietly, every 6 months or so the ink fades a little. I always traced it back. Sarah looks at him. Really looks at him. For years of time between them. For years where he thought she was gone and she let him think it. She carries that. You can see it in her face. I'm sorry I let you think otherwise. James. He looks at her for a moment. His jaw is tight. His eyes are steady. You saved my life. You flew into fire. You brought me home. Whatever happened after that, whatever made you leave, that was yours. That was not mine to know. He pauses. You're here now. That's enough. That has always been enough. Ryan, to camera. A small smile. Worst professional assessment of my career. I said, civilian, harmless, tired. That is what I wrote in my head. And every single part of that was wrong. But you know what, I'll take it. Best flight of my life. She went back to the bookstore. Of course she did. The next Monday. Same hoodie. Same earphones. Same quiet face behind the counter. A customer came in. He was reading his phone. He looked up. Did you see this? A woman landed a plane in Chicago. Former Navy SEAL. Nobody knows her name. They're calling her Ghost Fire. Sarah slid a book across the counter. Interesting. Customer, she asked them not to release her name. She just walked away. Sarah, smart woman. Customer, you think she'll ever fly again? Sarah looks at the window. At the sky outside. At the horizon. She has been looking below it for 2 years. Not at it. Below it. Today, for the first time, she looks directly at it. Right at it. Yeah, she says. I think she will. A hoodie sleeve slipped 2 inches. A tattoo was seen by the right person. A call sign was spoken for the first time in 2 years. Ghost Fire. She came to disappear. The plane wouldn't let her. Turns out. Neither would the sky. Directly to viewer. Ghost Fire came back when 224 people needed her. If this story moved you, if you felt something, share it with one person who needs to hear it today. Subscribe for more stories like this one. And drop a comment, what would you have done in seat 14C? We will see you in the next one.